Hey, what's up? Coltrane here from Aidgentic, and I hope you're having an awesome morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is. Uh, I wanted to show you this really cool automation that we've been working on at Aidgentic. Now, first, I will show you what exactly the output looks like, and then I'll walk you through exactly how this automation works, how it can be applied to different kinds of business opportunities, and the way that you could begin implementing something like this in your own company. So first, let's talk about the output. So this is a newsletter. Now, I'm personally from Hawaii, and this newsletter is chock full of goodies and information that I would want as someone in the tech scene in Hawaii. So a little bit of an introduction, but the meat and potatoes of this automation is first the tech events. So this gives a pretty comprehensive list of all of the big events happening around the islands. So AI focused, workers' compensation, tech meetups. Really, these are the main things from top tech platforms like Luma, 10 Times, Eventbrite, so on and so forth. Next, an actionable AI tip. So this is how Hawaii can kind of stand out in a global competitive scene, and this might be useful for Hawaii business owners trying to figure out what stance they're taking with AI. So there's that insight, and then we get into tech and AI developments to know, and these are really the top news stories that you'd be seeing each week. So AI chatbots are sliding towards a privacy crisis, and this really relates more towards breaking news. And then we get into Hawaii local news. So these are the top events in the past week that occurred that would also be relevant for this persona. So for instance, Paradise Cove Luau, which is something that a lot of Hawaii people know about, is preparing to close its doors. So sad days, but this is really news that would be great around, I don't know, like a water cooler. I've never had a water cooler at work. I don't think we need water coolers, but this is great information to know if you're just talking to a client or prospect or just someone that you're meeting at work. Basically, I'm trying to create a newsletter that's generally helpful and catches people up on really local happenings. The thing is, in Hawaii, not a lot of people have the will and the time to put together this comprehensive a newsletter. But over the past few weeks, I've put out four of them very consistently. So you can see here's a different one. It's evolved a little bit over time. These were the tech meetups from the previous week, some call outs. It's a nice newsletter overall. This was actually piggybacking off of an event that I held. And of course, sends them to more reputable articles, prospect.org. So imagine that this is used not for people in Hawaii, which seems more abstract, but instead your ideal client. Maybe you work with sales agencies, something like that, and you're wanting to stay on top of the latest legislation in sales. You're wanting to stay informed of best practices. Maybe there's a specific sales location that you're focused on, so you want to share events in that area. Maybe you're posting on blogs and social media and you want to syndicate that content in a newsletter so that you can reach people more effectively, because email is the cheapest channel to actually reach your ideal prospects if you have their email. So putting together this newsletter by hand would be crazy business. Like, look at how much code is going on, look at the different sections. It requires pretty intensive research. Each section kind of leads into why something is important, gives a recap. Basically, 10 minutes here will save you at least 100 minutes just looking for it by yourself. But hard newsletter to put together. Until I tell you that this is all made through an automation that I built. So we have different sections here. I made it fairly modular, but here's the niche focus events. Here's the local Hawaii business news. Here's relevant tech and AI news. And then we can also pull from a knowledge base that's connected to a dictation tool that I have that helps me to expand on ideas. And then once it gets a good idea, it saves it into that database. And this can pull the ideas that are most relevant to the topics that are in the news and in the events and insert that into the newsletter. It also incorporates that into the intro and conclusion and call to action. So if you look at all of these newsletters more thoroughly, it will give you a call to action towards the end, saying like, I'd love to help you shape the newsletter. And it's been progressing every week, but this talks about what it highlights, talks about takeaway, and then it asks to connect. And of course, again, it's a work in progress. You can adapt it to any business use case that you like, but that's really the exciting part. And this is just the sign up page. It doesn't look too good, to be honest, but didn't have time to focus on that. All of these aspects get put together in this automation and create these types of modular outputs. Now, I made the prompting very specific so that it creates everything in the style that I want, but it can change based on the inputs. Now, all of these together go through a post request that connects to ConvertKit, and it gets uploaded in this format. So I didn't type any of this. I was able to just open the email and it had everything ready to be sent out. Now imagine the power this could have if you have a team of people spending a week trying to pull the latest events and build a beautiful newsletter every week. Although the thing is, most businesses and most people that even try to publish newsletters regularly do it bi-weekly or monthly, because it's such a lift in work and time to get all of the sources and then to pull it together and format it. This was done without any manual time on my part. This actually runs automatically. It pulls the latest trending news and events based on predefined criteria. So all of the news is coming from the last week, but it's sorted by AI based on the criteria that I think is useful and that I think my audience will find useful. So that's why they're actually extremely tailored to the demographic that we're writing for. I can't stress enough how versatile this is, though. You could also be sharing your own blog posts. You could be sharing YouTube videos. Really, the sky's the limit in terms of what you want to add into this newsletter. But the cool thing is that it's so modular that you can apply it to any business use case. You can even really make it a sequence and touch up your existing newsletter threads by adding in trending news, recent topics, or surfacing things from your blog. So hope this gives you a little glimpse into what's possible with this. And if you're looking to have something built for your business that does the same effect, and really we're trying to tie it to ROI, I'd be happy to help you pull something together that not only can engage your audience more effectively, but also get them to move down the conversion pathway, possibly by showing higher intent, lower funnel topics over time, or by tracking what sort of links that they click and making different newsletter tests based on what you're trying to guide them to. There is a lot of development that I can do for this, but so far no other agency that we've seen, no other builds that I've seen online have gotten anywhere close to the sophistication that I built out for this newsletter generator. And this is extremely modular, so we can continue building on it based on our use case and your business. So again, if you want to talk about this, if you want to implement something similar in your business, let's talk. I'm Coltrane from Aidgentic. You can find us at aidgentic.com, and would love to help you create something just as awesome for your own business. All right, that's all for this video. Thanks.